What's up, boys? It's the Duel Factory, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is another deck profile for 2014 Nationals format. In the previous match that you guys saw on the channel, I was playing zombies, my buddy was Doug, he was playing Hat. I did have a second matchup for you guys, however, if you guys follow the Facebook page, you already know the file got corrupted on me, so I couldn't post a second match, but spoiler alert, I lost the second match as well, but there were some more interesting plays I was able to do with it, but Zombies is more of a rogue strategy back in 2014. It wasn't really well represented, but it was interesting because you had Mizuki come back to 3. You had multiple plague spreaders, so the zombie strategy was a lot more viable. And then you had cards like Soul Charge and Curry Bant and stuff like that came out. It just made the deck really interesting, a lot of fun to play, and I remember playing it for fun at locals and stuff like that, so I wanted to put it together for 2014 Nationals format since we've been playing that a lot and kind of show you what you guys have been playing. So enough about that. We'll go on and get into the list and show you what we're working with. So for 2014, it was like I said, it was a weird time, but Mizuki had just went back to 3, and we all thought it was. I mean, you guys already know how good Mizuki is now in today's current Yu-Gi-Oh, and just imagine it back then. But Yu-Gi-Oh was a lot slower, and we didn't have as many ways to get it into the graveyard. One of the big things was Lavalval Chain, which if we had Lavalval Chain now, it would be really insane. But it was definite 3 of it. It was the best zombie card out. And then we were playing 2 copies of Goblin Zombie. This was your floater. You already know, especially with the zombie stuff going around now. When Goblin Zombie goes from field to graveyard, it adds a zombie with 1200 or less defense. And honestly, that's really good in this format because especially how slow things were, you could draw into this and set it and let your opponent run into it. Especially with like against like Hat and stuff like that, where like they're going to be summoning Marmillos to search their holes and stuff like that, and you just keep grinding out resources and whatnot. So 2 of that. Then we also played 2 copies of Zombie Master. This was your instant rank 4. You have to discard a monster card, and you can special summon any zombie from the graveyard. There's no level restriction either, so you can bring back card. Oh yeah, it is. It's level 4 or lower. But so disregard that. But Zombie Master is really cool. It lets you either make you can bring back Plague Spreader to bring back, but summon Revive King, Hades, which outs the hands and was really good. You can use to make a free rank 4 and like Lavalval Chain and whatnot, and so on and so forth. So this card is really good. It was an essential combo piece. But you only really played 2 because you didn't really want to like draw multiples of it, and like unless that's already established, it wasn't a really good standalone card. But there's that. And then the last zombie we played in the main deck was 2 copies of Plague Spreader. Realistically, you probably could have played 1, but you played 2 because you want to have access to the second in case you're forced to use the first effect turn 1. But it was the best 2 in your deck. With 3 Mizuki, you could start reviving it and looping it and all that fun shit. So then on to the non-zombie cards. There was 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. This card just recently went to 2 on the ban list, but in 2014, this card had just came back to 3, which is really cool because it gave zombies a dynamic that I had before, which Plague Spreader in this made level 8 synchros really easy. And it's really powerful in decks like these. And then this card had just got released in the structure deck, and we had 3 copies of Raiden. You played 3 of this. Not a lot of zombie players did, but I like it because it lets you play Charge of Light Brigade in your deck, which is really good. Like, that's the main reason to play it. But like, it's a level 4 tuner. It applies a lot of pressure by milling 2 cards in the main phase and 2 in the end phase, so essentially mill 4 cards. It works really well in tandem with Goblin Zombie because you can make a level 8 Synchro and Search, which is a really, really powerful effect. And like I said, it does a lot for the deck. It gives you a really strong normal summon turn 1. And that's why, in the same, we're also playing 3 Curry Bandit. It's just another strong normal summon going turn 1 to establish a graveyard. You send 5, you can add soul charges and whatnot. Like, it's just a really, really good consistency card in this format. And then I played the 1 copy of Dad because you have a lot of grave manipulation, and this card was a blowout in that format. Because a lot of people didn't play around it, and for good reason, but like, if you were able to play it, like, you were ahead of the curve for sure. So that's it for the monster lineup. On to the spells. 3 Upstart Goblin. Like, I'm a really big fan. I'm a really big fan of Hogan's Theory of 3 Upstart, so there's that. Arguably the best spell card of the format, which was 3 copies of Soul Charge. And this card, it was really cool because you can make level 8 Synchros and rank 4s. So, I mean, like, you were way, way ahead of the game for when it comes to your Soul Charge plays. 1 Charge, 1 Allure, 1 Burial. These were all at 1. Rhoda, because Raiden was actually just that important to open. 1 Foolish, and 1 Book of Moon, the most versatile spell card you had at the time. So that's it for the spells. On to my traps. We played 3 copies of Phoenix 1/1 Blast, In one of the videos, one of the profiles I was looking up for this when I was looking for something to play. If you go to Star Strike Duelist channel, she said it the best, whereas the guy that she was profiling who was playing the deck in her channel, any zombie that you would have in hand in this format would do more in your graveyard than it does in your hand, and Phoenix Woman Blast has auto-win potential, honestly, because it can set your opponent back a turn, and that was really detrimental in this format. So there's that. 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill. This is one of the only decks that I would play Breakthrough Skill in, just because Dweller really, really hurts your strategy, and you just need outs to the Dweller. And I think this is just better versus Phoenix Chain in that aspect. But, you know, that could always change. And then there was 1 Warning, 1 Torrential, 1 Bottomless, and 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. Your power 1/0s for trap cards. So that's the main deck. It's 40. And then on to the extra deck. So for 2014 Zombies, we played 1 copy of Revive King Hades. For those of you who don't know what this card does, it's a level 6 synchro that requires Plague Spreader Zombies, so that's why you can play it in this deck. But its effect reads, any zombie type monster that destroys monster by battles negates the effect of the monster until the end of the damage step. So, this was cool because you could make this and then run over their hand and their effect wouldn't activate because Revive King Hades was on the field. So this was just an out to the hands that a lot of decks didn't see. This is out to a lot of cards that a lot of people didn't understand. Because one of the cool things is you could run into gear armor. I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can run into armor and it would stop the effect. But this card was really hot. 1 Crimson Blader for Sylvan and Rulers. Stardust Spark you could play because you side advantage Emptiness, and Emptiness Spark was really good. 1 Colossal Fighter. Colossal Fighter is just a good generic 8. It's really good on the skill drain. It outs Felgrams without having to use monster effects, so on and so forth. The card was just really good. Stardust, my favorite synchro to make. Scrap Dragon to plow cards out of the way. You had access to Beals, which was a really, really good card. Because the hand's kind of out, because it can't be destroyed by battle, and it can't be destroyed by card effect. Granted, you can just spin it with Compulse and stuff like that, but this card was just really good. One of my favorite synchros in Leo. It's really hard for decks to deal with this in this format. And then on to the XYZs, we played 1 Dweller, Auto-Win, Karen Gorgon, Protective Floodgates. Lavalval Chain was your best turn 1 XYZ to go into, and honestly, the best XYZ to go into in the deck. Emerald could put boss monsters and could put Malleys back, just depending on your situation. We also played 1 Honor Arc, 1 Diamond Direwolf, still my favorite XYZ to this day. And then you played 1 Dougie Knight. Because a lot of times, all your advantage is in graveyard. So, in terms of what's on field and what's in your hand, your card economy is always going to be less than your opponent. But where you start generating your +1s and stuff like that is in your graveyard when it's already established. So, by the time you would be set up to do a Exiton play, and then afterwards you can just go off and establish a huge board and your opponent really couldn't do anything. But that was my deck profile for 2014 Nationals format. Let me tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a thumbs up if you want to keep seeing more 2014 format. I'm gonna play for fun anyway, but I like sharing older retro formats with you guys. I think it's a lot of fun. For those of you who are more interested in the current meta, after this deck profile goes up, I have a series of new format matches. The first one that's going to go up will be Sky Striker versus Thunder Dragon, and then we'll go on so forth with more meta matches from there. And then we'll just have another continuous flow of content coming on for you guys to enjoy. But as always, remember to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Go check us out on Facebook. I'll be in St. Louis this Sunday for the regional coming up. So there's that. If you see me around, feel more than free to come up and say hi. But we'll catch you in the next video, guys. Later.